Hey guys, Mr.Relatable here. Before I get started, I wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel recently, as well as using my supporter creator code. The numbers that I have been getting recently have been absolutely incredible, so I wanted to thank every one of you guys. If you aren't using my code and you want to, it is simply relatable, and that is it. But with that out of the way, we're going to be hopping right into the video. This one's going to be a little bit different from what I normally do, and it's actually going to be 5 quick tips that every new player to creative should know, and even some more experienced players might not even know these tips. So if you do enjoy this style of video, let me know. But with that out of the way, let's just get right into it. So the first feature that I wanted to go over here is actually the build to prop feature. A lot of you guys probably already know about this, but I know there are a handful of people who still don't. I still get questions almost on the daily asking me, how do I get my walls in this shape? This is impossible. How did you rotate? How did you do all this stuff? And it's actually really simple. I've actually gotten accusations of having access to stuff that isn't actually released yet, and that's simply not true. All it is the building to prop feature. So to access it, all you're going to want to do is hold your phone in your hand, and on the left side of the screen, you should see an options tab. When you enter the options, you'll get this quick menu like so, and you can see this building to prop right here. First, I will show you guys what it looks like with it off. So if I just pull out this wall, you can see it's kind of snapped to the grid. I can mirror it. That's pretty much all I could do. Rotate it a little bit if I wanted to. I can't really resize it. I can't put it on an angle, anything like that. If I turn on building to prop now that you can see, I can pick this up. I can change the grid snap if I want to. I can rotate it. I can do all of that stuff. I can change the size. I can change pretty much anything that I want, and it acts as if it's a prop. So yeah, building to prop is very, very, very useful, and you should honestly probably be using it in the majority of maps that you make, because it really allows you to kind of make your own custom buildings and do everything that you really wish that you could do. It opens up so many possibilities in creative, and it's a super useful feature. With our second tip here, it goes along with the phone and the building to prop. However, this one is going to be multi-select. Once again, I feel like this one is a little more common knowledge for a lot of people. However, multi-select is once again a very useful tool that I use almost every single day that I'm building. All you're going to want to do is pull out your phone, and on the right side you should see, or left side, excuse me, you should see the select. For me, it is R. So if I just hold down that button, I can then go through and select pretty much everything that I want. So you can see everything is starting to highlight in green. And you can only select up to 100 things at a time, unfortunately. I know that might not sound too bad, but when you get really detailed, it can kind of be a pain. But as you can see here, if we just hold down and I can select this chunk of this building, and now I can copy it, and I have this like so, or you could even cut it, and you can have it taken out like that. So it's super useful in this hub that I made, for example, for Chinese New Year. A lot of the stuff was simply just building it in a different world, in a different island, and then copying and pasting it over. Like this building, for example, I did not build this here. I built it in a different building world and then brought it on over. So yeah, that is the multi-select tool. Once again, it's a very useful tool, and it's super nice when you're just trying to make things symmetrical or anything of the sorts. Next up here is something that's a little bit newer to creative, but is actually naming devices. This is actually a lot more useful than it sounds. So if we just go ahead and grab a trigger, we can throw it on down like normal. And when we hit customize on it, there's a little gear down in the bottom left. When you click on it, you can actually hit rename. And now I can rename this device to, let's say, teleporter trigger or something of the sort. You can name it whatever you want, really. It doesn't matter. But that's not all you can really do with it. It might sound a little just like, oh, why would I ever want to do that? But when you have, let's say, 50 triggers, it is super useful, because a little bonus tip that is also new to creative is if you open your inventory and go to My Island, in the bottom right, there is a channel browser. When you click on this channel browser, it actually brings up all of the channels that you are using, as well as if you hit up here, it says all devices. So now you can see everything that I have in this world, and if you just scroll down, you can see that I'm going to have a teleporter trigger, because that is what I named it. And on top of that, if you wanted to, you can hit this teleport button, and then it will teleport you directly on top of where you had that trigger. So this is super useful for when you're making maps and you want to get around really quickly, or you just need to figure out what's causing a problem. you can use this little channel browser and then rename all the devices that you want, and now you can just teleport to them. So that is a very useful trick if you are working with a lot of mechanics. For our next tip here, we're going to go into a very clean way to plug your socials in your map. A lot of people, when they're making their maps, they want to make sure that people are going to be following them on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, anything really, and you really want to make sure that people know who you are. One really good way to do this, and it's very unknown and very kind of private, so you're not going to really find this tip anywhere else, but it's with the tracker device. Throw down the tracker device like so and hit customize on it. That to track, you're going to want to make sure that this is on channel, and if we scroll down, we should see tracker title. You can change this to whatever you want, so for mine, I'm going to put my socials, and then description text. This is where we're going to get a little bit fancy. There's a few things that you could do here, so if I just wanted to type YouTube, Mr.Relatable, that's perfectly fine, and you can do that. However, there is a special custom character that I will leave in the description that you can copy and paste into this little tracker device, and what it'll actually do is make it so you can have multiple rows of description. If I show you here real quick, I can write Twitter, Relatable, and then code Relatable. So this is what some people would normally do, and I'm going to show you that in game real quick. However, we're going to go through the rest of the settings really quickly. Show progress, we're just going to want to make sure that that's off, and that's everything you need to do. Now if I hit OK and now start game, you can see here that in the top left corner of my screen, it is going to display my socials. However, they're very tiny and hard to see. This is where this special character is going to come into play. This is it's pretty secretive. Not many people really know about it. So what you're going to want to do is copy the character that I have in the description and now paste it into the tracker device so we can clear out what we have currently and put back YouTube Relatable. And now I already have the code copied. However, if I paste it, you can see it makes another line. It's super useful. So now I can type my Twitter right there and now paste it again and put my code right there. And now it looks something like this. It's a little buggy. It's a little weird. It's not really supported. So it's just a little funky. But now if we hit the start game button and you look in the top left, you can see that it looks way better and it's super nice and super clean looking. So that is a really good way to plug your socials if you want to. And it's really unique. Not many people know how to do it, so keep that tip on the down low, you know, guys. But anyway, we're going to be hopping into our final tip now. So the final tip here is going to be something that you can do in the hub whenever you want, and that is simply duplicating islands. So if you want multiple game modes, in my example, I'm going to use my hijacked map. If I scroll down here, you can see that I have hijack domination, team deathmatch, kill confirmed, all that stuff. And I didn't actually go through and make those maps all on their own or copy them over. What I simply did is I clicked on the name of the island and hit the duplicate button. And now you can rename it to whatever you want. And that allows you to make multiple game modes and have multiple islands that are the exact same, but maybe you want to change the mechanics a little bit. Another thing that's really cool is if you hit the create new option, there's actually template islands here. A lot of people don't know about this, but these template islands kind of allow you to get a really good head start on when you're trying to make a game. For example, Deco has a search and destroy tutorial right here, so if you wanted to make a search and destroy, you could actually use their template island and it could help you out a lot. Or if you want, you could just use my tutorial. Just saying. Anyways though, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, let me know. If you like this style of video, I will continue to keep making them and show off more tips that I have, as I've been doing this for over a year now. I have a lot of unique and fun little tips that you guys can do. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, hope you let me know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we are getting actually pretty close to 4,000. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.